Hey everybody, it's Zane, and today I'm going to show you guys this custom Lego fire pumper I started way back in 2018. I also will give you guys some sneak peeks on why I didn't ever finish this and what's to come in the next video. Let's get started. So we'll go ahead and get started with the front end of the vehicle. The cabin isn't based off anything in the real world. The grille technique is actually inspired by a build based off of a real world fire engine. Besides the grille on the front end, the bumper also has a few basic details. I was going for a main inlet port. I also tried to simulate a small bumper compartment or bumper box. It's pretty common on fire engines. However, I feel like it needs a little bit more bulk and a little bit more separation. Not to mention, I actually have made some design changes to this front end. While I was serving my mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I actually designed an updated version of this. Besides that, there are a few other basic details. I got some decent mirrors that are a little bit different, some side handles, little steps. These doors do function, but of course they're about as useless as your normal city doors. On the roof of the vehicle, I went for a fairly abrupt starting to the raised section of the cab. This moved the light bar very far forward. Had a fairly basic, rear-mounted AC unit that's mostly flush with the top. It just has a few exhaust ports. Finally, a couple antennas. Of course, I should also mention that the roof comes off, and it comes off like this piece. To get the front off, you just kind of have to remove these pieces individually. Inside's a pretty basic cabin. I did try to simulate a little bit of the engine hump in the middle. I simulated a small compartment up front. Well, this would probably house either medical supplies or maybe have some gear for the engineer to operate for the pump panel, maybe even his personal protection gear and everything. Got a couple hose cross lays, and you'll also be able to see the biggest flaw in this truck, a very weak connection point in between the cabin and the rear, and you can see it's starting to pull apart. When I was originally going to rebuild this, I was going to tear the cabin back down. I was going to add a second attachment point. The pump panel itself's a little basic, but it's pretty reasonable, kind of average for this amount of space. Got some gauges, suggestion of intakes and an inlet and an outlet, and then a drawer for equipment on the pump panel. The other side of the pump panel is also pretty simple, just an inlet and a couple more outlets. Also have a quick attack line that's reeled up, and on that other side of the compartment, by the way, this is entirely filled with bricks. Wanted to make this actually functional, but at the time didn't have the pieces / the expertise to figure out how to do that. Same thing with this other compartment right here. So, as you guys probably noticed, I have a functional door system. This would have a brick-built top that would expand across the whole entire compartment series, and there was going to be another 4-stud walling compartment and in the rear of the truck. And so these compartments you would basically pull them out, and then you'd just slide it up in on this rail system and be able to go in about that far. And then you'd have access to various tools and stuff on the inside. It's actually kind of surprising. I forgot how much I stuffed down here. I had a decent number of hand tools in here, and I think I was going to probably put some rescue tools and a few other things in the rear compartment. And it's a reasonable number of tools, a couple of axes, a branch, a pickaxe, an ice pick, a saw, and then finally another shovel and a broom. It's surprisingly hard to fit tools in these tiny spaces, particularly since Lego tools are kind of overscaled, so it's really hard to make good compartment space with these oversized tools and not feel like there's hardly any space to put anything. And then on the top there would have been probably coffin boxes along with a decent sized hose beds in the middle. And that would have finished off the truck. I'm still reasonably happy with it, but I just have something better. Alright, well I guess that's it. I'll go ahead and put up a few B-roll shots of the new truck. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.